All right, another day of the Corey Jones Show. Guess what, Trisha?
What?
You were on the first episode of the Corey Jones Show.
I am?
Yes.
I thought I was here before.
Hopefully many. No, when you were on before, it's called the Be Ready with Safety Man
I
Show.
see.
We were here before, and we were talking about going to the Olympia.
Yes.
And now, I'm going to flash forward, we're talking about the Arnold Classic. But a lot of things have happened between then. So tell our guests, catch us up on what's been going on.
Sure. Well, yes, 2019 was my first pro year. I had turned pro in 2018, did my pro debut late 2018, was hoping to earn qualification to compete in the Olympia in 2019. I fell short of that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Everything happens for a reason and in due time. So I did fall short of that. I did pretty well my first pro show, and then continued to experience some challenges at my second and third one. So 2019 did not, although it did not turn out the way I expected or hoped in terms of an Olympia qualification, what it did do for me is got me an invite to the Arnold. So for that, I'm extremely grateful and extremely humbled. And I'm looking forward to doing that in just another short week and a half, actually.
So tell me about the Arnold Classic. Everybody knows who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. He was Terminator, he was a governor, he's an actor in a lot of movies, very successful. Tell me about what the Arnold Classic is.
Well, the Arnold Classic represents a whole entire myriad of different sports and activities. Arnold is a huge proponent of health and fitness. And I can't even rattle off all the different ones, but you know, from powerlifting to pole dancing to what I do, physique competition. So there are many different components. It's an entire weekend event. Last year in 2019, I went as a spectator, and I believe I read that 200 and something thousand people went in and out of the Arnold Sports Festival that weekend.
That's a lot of people.
It's a very prestigious event for what I do. It is the only one that's by invitation only for women's physique under the IFBB. Actually for any category under the IFBB. And so to get that invitation, to not only qualify, but to get that invitation is just, it's overwhelming. Actually.
Now, was it an email or was it a piece of mail that you had to open? How did that actually happen?
It was, well, first of all, I kind of knew that I should be getting an invitation, but then it was an email.
Okay.
And it was congratulations for qualifying and being invited to the Arnold. And at that moment, it was pretty surreal. You know, I don't have the track record of these other women, and I'm older, I think, than all of them. So it's quite just an overwhelming prospect, the idea of being on that stage. It's a very prestigious stage.
Now, you sent me some numbers, though. 1 in 13.
Yes.
What is that?
So there were 13 women across internationally that were invited to the Arnold. And there might have been a few that have been added since then or a few that have dropped out since then. But ultimately, we're in that range. So we're talking, I'm one of 13 approximate women that are going to be competing for the Arnold, at the Arnold. And it's really something that should be held in high honor.
Now, there's another number 7 that comes after that. That is.
Oh, 7. Yes, because yes, you know, when I was kind of looking at the landscape of competitors when I first got the invitation, I'm like, there's no way I can do this, right? And then I'm like, there's no way I can't do this. Like, I have to do it. You don't turn down that opportunity.
Of course.
So the number 7 comes from, you know, in analyzing the landscape of competitors, which I don't usually do because it's really not about who else shows up. It's about you and what you bring. I realized that 7 of those women who I'm competing against competed on the Olympia stage just in September. And the Olympia stage is the biggest stage and the most prestigious competition for what we do. So, you know, to be up against that kind of competition is just, you know, you feel like a small fish in a very big pond.
Now, I'm sure our viewers from looking at you right now can tell that you're jacked, if I may use that word. But I know you have a picture. The producers could show a picture of Trisha 2020 backstage. We have a picture.
Well, it's not backstage, it's a competition pic right there.
Competition?
Yeah, so that was my last show of the season. That was in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, wow.
That was on stage at prejudging. and each of the competitors comes out and does like a 45-second to 60-second introductory routine to show the judges. So you really want to make a good impression there.
It looks like you did. I mean, just from my angle, not being a judge.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but everybody looks great. It's not really about who doesn't look great. It's about who doesn't look quite as good as the next person. So it's really at that level, it's nitpicking.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're also doing something called lifestyle client transformation, which is a huge jump from what we're talking about with the Arnold and that, but I'm sure the fact pattern, the experience that you gained has definitely helped your clients. So can you tell me about that?
Yes, it all feeds into one another. My education, having a degree from Penn State in exercise and sports science, to attending a 6-month full-time personal training curriculum. From all that to what I personally do, what my sport is, all that translates into data that I'm constantly getting and constantly assimilating and applying and taking that and learning from that and being able to apply it to other populations. So if you go to, here is a lifestyle client, and there's 2 types of clients. There's, for BodyEPIK, there's lifestyle clients, and then there's competitor clients. So she is a lifestyle client, meaning that she basically is she's not looking to step on stage. She is looking to be healthy and to feel good and to be able to function throughout her day without aches and pains and to be able to move efficiently. So part of that, can you please go back to that picture? So part of that is being able to change her body composition. You can see here, this is in 10, 11 weeks, the transformation that took place. It's pretty significant. And so not just the physical transformation that came along with that weight loss and body fat loss, but the actual mental transformation, how she felt about herself, how she felt with her kids and her family and her husband, really was amazing. Now, if we go on to another picture, there will be a competitor client. There we go. So here is a woman who, this is a bucket list item for her.
Yeah.
She's in her late 40s. She has 2 kids. She's always kind of been into working out. You can tell by the bottom right-hand corner that she was never terribly out of shape, but you can see the transformation. She lost 30% body fat. 30% of her body fat was lost within a 16-week period approximately. So she wanted to get on stage, and we got her on stage, and she looked great. She looked fabulous. She placed first in her class, in the open class, and then placed second in both the novice and master's class.
So to see your face light up when you're talking about these lifestyle and competition clients, it's just incredible how much time, effort, energy, and caring that you put into them.
Absolutely. I mean, I really take ownership of it. Maybe too much. I have so much vested interest in my clients. BodyEPIK is really about, raising the bar on what people's perceptions are on personal training. It's really a 360 approach to addressing all the cogs in the wheel of the health and fitness wheel. It's not just training. It's nutrition. It's supplementation. To help balance out. How your body is absorbing nutrients. It's mindset. It's bringing all those things together and helping them create a lifestyle that's sustainable, not just a short-term diet. I like to educate my clients on really making something, incorporating it as part of their life, not looking at it as a short-term fix to get from point A to point B.
So you talked about mindset a lot before.
Yes.
Tell me about how mindset plays its hand in the different parts of either your training or the training of your clients.
I think mindset is really, it's crucial. The self-talk that you have with yourself and the conversations that you have with yourself, it really dictates a lot of the energy that flows from you and into you. So to be able to tap into that inner strength and to call upon that Rolodex of positive affirmations to help keep you moving in a productive direction towards your goals is paramount. I mean, right now, the conversations that I have with myself day in and day out, hour in and hour out, it's pretty phenomenal. It's because right now I'm struggling. It's a tough time for me. These last couple weeks are always tough.
How so?
Well, because you're so depleted. I mean, you've been dieting, you're training hard. The stress of just getting ready to step on stage, in terms of choreography and posing and making sure your physique is trending to be on point for that day. To be operating off of a low level of carbohydrates, which is what fuels your energy and your kind of good mood. It's tough.
So you're not keto?
Not keto, but I mean definitely low carb.
That's like a new word.
Yeah, it's very fad.
Yeah.
Keto is very fad.
And from what you were saying before, fad is not your thing. You want a true lifestyle change that's going to be sustainable.
Right, but what I'm doing is really not sustainable. What I'm doing is a little on the crazy.
For show prep is different.
Yeah, what I'm doing is a little on the crazy side. Only crazy people do what I do. But no, it's definitely not sustainable. It's not really a healthy place to be in for too long.
All right.
But it's what you do. If you're a competitor, it's what you do.
All right, well, when we come back, I want you to talk about how your lifestyle clients are now empowered to change their lives, to go to work, to go to the gym, to raise their families, whatever. We're going to come back in about 2 minutes after some commercials with Trisha Smick.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I'm here with Trisha Vezirian. We're talking about some of your lifestyle clients, and I wanted to talk about how that empowers them. You touched on it before, but I really want our viewers and listeners to know.
Well, it's not just lifestyle clients, it's competitor clients as well. Basically, it's part of my philosophy as a trainer and as a coach, is to educate, empower, and help clients execute on their regimen, on their training program. And when I say training program, I mean the full program. I mean the nutrition and the self-talk and the actual physical training to try to build strength and muscular endurance and what have you. So I try to educate, I think, is so crucial, because a lot of trainers out there, they want to hold on to that knowledge because they want their clients to be dependent upon them. And I mean, I don't. I want to teach them and help them understand what the whys and the hows are, what they are behind the whats. So this is what we're doing, but how do we do it, and why do we do it? What does this, or how does this impact us getting towards your end result?
Exactly.
So that's a session in and session out approach that I automatically have. So I want to educate them, and them having the tools of the knowledge helps empower them to execute on their own.
Yeah, so then, the one session that they may miss, maybe a quick text message, and you can send them on to have a great workout, great eating session, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Right?
So it applies to the training, but also with the eating. So initially, when it comes to a nutrition program is very detail-oriented. It's based upon one's body composition. It's not a boilerplate, at least mine are not a boilerplate type of meal plan. The macronutrients are all planned out based upon their specific goals, their specific body composition. So I usually start somebody off, if they're not accustomed to eating on a healthy meal plan or a consistent meal plan, I usually start them off with telling them exactly what to eat when. But when I do that, my goal is not to stay there with them. My goal is to help them evolve to a point where I can say, look, these are the macronutrients. We have carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Based upon where you are, what your goals are, on a daily basis, I need you to consume X, Y, and Z of each of those.
Right.
And I want you to go into MyFitnessPal and log your food, and I want you to watch yourself as you move through the day and see how you're tallying up and see how it's looking.
Okay.
So you either need to kind of reel it in, or you need to kind of speed it up a little bit.
Maybe you can have that sushi day that you were talking
Exactly. So that's what I mean by empowerment.
Okay. Now, in order to help that happen, you had to develop a brand.
Yes.
You had to develop, what's it called?
BodyEPIK by Trish.
BodyEPIK by Trish. And I know we have a picture that shows the awesome branding that we have with BodyEPIK by Trish.
Yes, and I want to, before we go any further, just kind of do a huge shout out to, he was a business associate, but now he is a friend. His name is John Crawford. He just did such an amazing job of John Crawford Design in Marlton. Creating my brand and helping me put together a look that was reflective of who I am as a coach and the type of clients that I want to attract. So it's all balanced. The power, the femininity, the masculinity is all balanced. It's really designed to show a lot of movement in the font, as he puts it. He put a lot of thought coming up with these ideas that an asexual person that's holding up the barbell
Right.
is designed to basically communicate to both men and women that this is a place for both of them, BodyEPIK, and it shows the power of the person. And that's actually the birth of where the Raising the Bar tagline came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, here's a quick question. So you have the logo and branding by John Crawford, and you're creating higher expectations on what to expect from personal training.
Right.
Right? So that clearly shows those higher expectations.
Yes.
A full 360 approach.
Yes. I talked a little bit about that earlier. It's typically when I work with clients, I am not working with a client just to train them. I am working with them to address all the different cogs in the fitness wheel. You know, so we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about training, we're talking about mindset. You know, we're talking about just how they fit this all into their lifestyle. So behavior modification, metabolic resetting. You know, a lot of people don't eat enough, and then they start to eat what they should, and then they gain weight. So we're working this from a 360-degree perspective, looking at it from all angles. Not everything is changed or impacted all at once. But that is the end goal. That's what's in my mind. What's in my mind is I'm going to start with priorities.
Right, right.
I'm going to create a foundation, and then I'm going to start adding on these other things. I want this person to be well-rounded, to be healthy, fit, okay, to be able to, you know, take long walks, to be able to walk upstairs. To be
So
able
you're going to
to
make them do cardio?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will.
I saw that in the paper. I was like, she didn't talk about it, so maybe she doesn't mean it. So.
Oh, no. No, I'll make them do cardio. That's another part of the training.
Not just pick things up and put them down.
No. So, you know, with regards to cardio, I mean, people do it for different reasons. Some people do it to increase the strength of the heart and the cardiovascular system, and other people do it, you know, to lose body fat. So, depending upon what their goals are, you know, someone who, for example, does not need to lose body fat, then I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to get them so that, you know, that their heart is really strong.
Okay, so it'll be a little bit different type of cardio.
Yes, it's definitely different. And the heart rate that I would prescribe is different. You know, the type of cardio might be different.
Okay, so what are body composition ratios? Because I have this scale I stand on. It tells me all the bad news about my body, and like 8 seconds, and it saves it to my phone.
Well, first of all, I just don't know how, I have that scale too. And that scale measured me this morning at 23% body fat. There's no way.
That's, yes, doesn't appear to be.
There's no way. And I think that with those scales, the leaner and the more fit you are, the more inaccurate it becomes.
Okay.
So, but basically body composition.
That just made my day.
So basically body composition is just to keep it simple, okay?
Yeah.
It can get more complicated, but basically lean body mass to fat mass, okay? So there are certain ratios, healthy ratios of each. So we want to increase the lean body mass, and we want to decrease the fat mass, or your body fat percent. Doing those two things, even with a loss, for example, that woman, 10 pounds, made a huge difference in how she projected her image, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10 pounds. But really, when you think about that 10 pounds, there was a lot going on behind the scenes. Her lean body mass was going up and her fat weight was going down. It wasn't all reflected on the number on the scale.
Right, so don't pay attention to
So
that.
I just think that the scale is one of those things you kind of look at from time to time to see if you're on track, you know, but it's not something that you rely on.
Okay.
You know, go more by how your clothes fit.
Exactly.
You know,
Or don't.
But that body composition is really important. You
Okay.
know, so there's different ways you can measure it. A lot of gyms will have better gyms will have higher end equipment to help you.
Yeah.
But the scale and those that read off your body fat, I don't think they're accurate.
Yeah. Now, my wife, you and her went to one of the same schools in your initial training,
Yes.
right? And she does Orangetheory Fitness.
Yes.
You know, Dagmar, what's up, baby? She does Orangetheory Fitness. I know they have a machine in some of their gyms where they kind of take like a whole look at your body to give you a much better
Is it called
percentage.
M-Sculpt or something? Or
Yeah, it sounds like that. Sounds something like that. Something
So
sculpted.
you stand there on this thing and and it turns you around and it's like,
I've never seen it in action. I would get dizzy if it did that.
I think I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. Yeah, those are fairly accurate, yes.
Oh,
And
good.
worst case scenario, let's just say some of these things are, even your scale, for example,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say they're not really spot on accurate. Like if you were to get like the most accurate body composition measurement done, like hydrostatic weighing or a DEXA scan, let's just say it doesn't come up with that exact number. At minimum, it could be used for comparison purposes. So your scale, if it gives you a body fat percent, it may not be your body fat percent, but if you see that number continuing to go up,
It's a good matrix.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So tell me about some of your sponsors and then where you're going to be and how people can find you.
Okay, well,
I know you have some listed here.
yes. Well, I just wanted to thank Florida Alternative Medicine. I mean, they have been a huge support of mine. Jeff Matthews from FAM, for short, has really, over the last couple of years, taken a big interest in my health as I prepare for these competitions, and has supplied me with, the type of nutrients and therapies that I need in order to operate, at my maximum efficiency. So I wanted to thank him. I want to always thank Barry Fritz over at the National Personal Training Institute of Philadelphia. Is just my all-time mentor. I mean, without him, I don't know. I think that he instilled a passion in me because of his passion that will live inside me, forever. He's just a very smart man, and I really appreciate Barry. Thank you so much. And then, of course, TNT, you know who you are. You have been an amazing support to me in so many ways I can't even quantify it. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. And then all my past trainers. Being where I am is an accumulation of experiences, an accumulation of input from different coaches. They all have their different levels of expertise and different strengths. So going back to the early days of Todd Zabielski and Bill Makayas and Tim McCullough, just a few. Caleb Schwartz, he's helped me a lot. Shane Hewley, and now Shelby Starnes has been acting as a consultant with me. So I appreciate all of them. Thank you.
Trisha Vezirian, how can people find you online?
So I'm pretty prominent on Instagram. You can find me at Trisha Physique _IFBB Pro. That's IFBB Pro. You can find me on Facebook. My athlete page is Trisha Physique. And Trisha Physique Competitor, I think. And then also my YouTube channel under Trisha Vezirian. V like Victor, E like Edward, Z like Zebra, IRIAN. On my YouTube channel, you can find some of the interviews I've been doing with some top-level people in the field, like coaches and athletes and so forth.
Well, awesome. Well, Trisha, thank you for coming on this show, the Corey Jones Show. We wish you the best of luck at the Arnold Classic and with all your clients in the future, and come back and join us again so we can just see how you're going, how they're doing, and bring some trophies. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Be good.
Awesome.
All right.
The only thing we didn't get to cover was that damn